I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there that I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, just was saying I just needed a break right there. Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie.
Every time I need some water, I'm going like this, Randall. So bring me water whenever I'm tired. One thing I'm going to say about that, because there's so many things to unpack about Anthony Richardson, is I like the honesty, Anthony Richardson, but sometimes it's okay not to reveal information. Sometimes it's just dance around the question, be a politician, get fluff, but don't ever say you're retired and that's why you left the game. I get it. Wide receivers leave the game, running backs leave the game when they're tired, but you're a quarterback. It doesn't work that way. You could talk to your coach in the headset and tell him, "Hey, I'm tired. All right, I can't do a Shane Steichen impression, but all right, Anthony, he's it's a little southern. Let's run the ball here 3 times in a row, and then catch your win there. And then, kid, stop doing so much. Like I call him a kid, but he's a massive human being. But he does way too much, and that's why he's tired. Like, stop trying to make every scramble or whatever pocket pressure for you to into some big gain there. He went off. He tossed some guy off like some kid. He went off up the right sideline. Somebody landed on his calf, and then he went like this. I'm like, did he get hurt again? And then no, he just said he was tired. Don't give that information out. I know we ask you questions, we want information, but it's a bad look, man. The teammates think you're probably not tough. Teammates think that you don't have the work ethic. Maybe you're soft. By the way, shout out to Gerard Mayo, who knows his team better than anybody else. If I call you soft, that means that you could take tough love and respond, and they beat the Jets there. So, but Anthony Richardson, the thing I was writing about before I kind of knew the context about this thing here, I was writing like, okay, he's not being accurate. He has terrible footwork. He doesn't play composed. He makes a lot of mistakes there. But Greg Bishop,
all of his draft,
everything, all the intangibles, the skill set. Greg Bishop wrote a good story on Anthony Richardson. People say he's the most gifted athlete on the planet, and things like that buys you time to prove yourself. If you're going to be the coach, you can't give up on a guy with those gifts there. If you're Bryce Young, who does not have that, see you later, Bryce Young. You have nothing to offer here. Anthony Richardson does, but then your coach can't defend you when you're doing this. The coach can be like, hey, give the kid a chance. He's going to put it together. Maybe Sam Darnold, maybe Baker Mayfield. Can we all learn here? Not when you're doing this. You can't defend the guy. So now Shane Steichen is talking about benching him for Joe Flacco. Fernando, I hate it. I defend Anthony Richardson. Joe Flacco is so much better than Anthony Richardson. After this, I can't really defend him.
Dan had a good idea. He said, we'll take him off their hands. And I was like, you want Anthony Richardson? He told me today. He's like, yeah, why not? I put him at tight end, and I just started laughing. Okay. I was like,
I was wondering which position is going to pick for him. Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything.
Exactly. He's like, I would move him to tight end. He's like, can you imagine
Justin Fields in the backfield?
Yeah, he's like, well, my quarter. Oh, by the way, I was going to say, Herbert's finally getting healthy with that leg. He's taking off running. He's doing all that other stuff. So
just watch out for those Saints players jumping on his legs, man.
Dude, that was like Bradley Bozeman was pissed after the game.
Good on him. Like, you got to do that. Good on him.
I was like, wow. Well, I ain't gonna say what our good friend Dante said after the game or after that play happened. But that's not the first time that Richardson's hit Herbert like that. He did it when he was a member of the Jets, I think 2 years ago. So definitely interesting.
Oh, Nathan Shepard, or what was his name?
Yeah. Or last year. I can't remember what year. I would bench him. I mean, what other if you're him though, just fall to the ground and act like you're hurt. Get out for the play.
Yeah.
At least people have some damn sympathy for you. You can get out, and then you jump back up, and then you're like, oh, okay. And you show like you're tough. Remember in Ted Lasso when Obisanya falls to the ground and what's his name? Roy Kent comes over and he like shoves him and he like stay down. Yeah. He's like, and then get up and pretend to struggle and say, I'm good to go.
He didn't even give Steichen the opportunity to protect him. He didn't even tell him like, hey man, I'm tired here.
Yeah. That's all he had to do. Just fall to the ground and just get up and be like, okay, I'm okay. Like, that's all you need to do. So I was just
and by the way, Pat McAfee called it right away. He had that tweet and he blasted the kid, and he's very close with people with the Colts. So it took him some kind of like something to really annoy him to tweet that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But All right, I'm gonna go with mine. I'll be real quick with it. Let me just find the okay. Obviously, the Detroit Lions won 52-14. Your quarterback goes 12 of 15 for 85 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, that's incredible. The running backs did a lot of the work. This is how they scored touchdowns. Montgomery, 7 yards. Gibbs, 70 yards. B. Wright, 8-yard pass. Well, I said B. Wright. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1 yard. Sam Laporte, a 3-yard pass from David Montgomery. Punt return for a touchdown. 7-yard pass from Goff, and then a Bates 51-yard field goal.
Wow.
The Detroit Lions are starting to find different ways to win games, and I think that's what you need, and that's what you see in a Super Bowl winning team, a team that can find different ways. You've seen it with the Chiefs for the last few years. You have Tyreek Hill, you're one of the greatest offenses, and then you switch over, you get a great offensive line after you get beaten down by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You revamp your offense. Tyreek Hill, you trade him away. Here you have Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, running backs. You do everything. You change different ways because you want to learn how to win different ways. The Detroit Lions are starting to win in different ways. I still feel like they need a trade or two to kind of cement their team. But I think moving forward, they are definitely in a class all by themselves right now. I'm very impressed with them. I'm very surprised that Jared Goff is being exactly what they need him to be. 1 week, he's 15 of 15 for whatever yards, and he's the highlight. Then they turn around like a game like yesterday, and it's all the running backs that do it. So I'm just really impressed with the Detroit Lions, and I really feel like right now they're hitting the stride, but you don't want to peak yet. This is kind of a good time to maybe take a loss and then kind of rebound from it and then kind of get hot. But as of right now, they're just playing really good football. I'm really impressed with the way they're playing.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about them. I guess maybe peaking too early because I think last year they learned a lot about themselves in that playoff run. Even the year before that, when they missed it by a game there, they had somewhat of a slow start to maybe pace themselves. I love the way, I shouldn't say I love. It's frustrating for fantasy football people, but Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell do a good job of preserving players with a long haul. That's why Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't get a lot of carries early on. It pisses off fantasy football people, but in November, December, he takes off, and now he's taking out. I think Montgomery's been dealing with some injuries there, so they have so much depth on depth. I'm with you there. They should make a move, maybe defensively. Obviously you can't get Max Crosby. Maybe you call about Jack Jones there, the cornerback. You need some help in the secondary. He's a knucklehead, but maybe when you have good coaching there and in a winning environment, maybe you turn it on. So I'm just looking for teams that have good players defensively that can help you out. Maybe a J.C. Horn from the Panthers could be available. So,
did you see him go after Sean Payton last night?
Yeah. So he's tired of getting his butt whooped. So maybe he'll put it together for the.
If I'm the Chargers,
Lions.
that's who I would go get.
Yeah. So there's a lot of players available. You can't just stand pat. And Fernando, last week I ranked the Lions number 1 on my power rankings, and I know you guys still have the Chiefs there, and I get it. They earned their respect there, but they can't score points like that. So the way that you laid it out for the offense there, I would love to see the Chiefs defense versus the Lions offense. And then they're so good, they're going to probably put 20 to 25 points on Spags defense. Can you do that if you're Patrick Mahomes? I know we're getting way ahead here with the Super Bowl, but they're number 1 for that. I saw what they did last year. They went pretty far. So,
your
maybe they
first-round
take
draft
loss.
pick is going to be 32 anyway. What the hell do you care?
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you win a Super Bowl,
go ahead and a second-round pick, whatever. I don't care.
Go make move. J.C. Horn for the Lions would actually. Yeah, you're right. That would actually be.
They play the really Packers this week without Malik Willis, by the way. So
he went to sleep at 1-6, and he wakes up at 6-2 or something like that. So that would definitely.
Yeah. Hey, why is the curse gone? I want to know. But that's good.
No, Jorge, stop. Only one person can say if the curse is gone or not. And that is Dan and Dago. By the way,
there's no thing. I picked the Chargers this week.
He has something for you tomorrow, so that'll be interesting.